Hi everybody. So today we are going to have a look at the different types of adverbs, adverbial phrases, and fronted adverbials. All of these are used to add a little bit more information in a sentence and usually to tell us more about the verb or the doing word. Hence you have verb in the word adverb. So they add more to the verbs. But they also add some more to a couple of other things which I'm going to go through with you now. So they give us more information about verbs, like I mentioned. They can also give us information about adjectives, which are the describing words, give us information about other adverbs as well as whole clauses. Let's have a look how. Adverbs can give us more information about verbs, which is the action, doing, or state word. For example, Jessica shouted cheerfully. So cheerfully is the adverb in that sentence. What other adverbs could you use to say how Jessica shouted? When I get to these parts on the slide, you can pause the video to have a go at writing down some of your own examples, and then you can carry on. Adverbs can give us more information about adjectives. Okay, so we've mentioned verbs. Now we're looking at adjectives. Remember, an adjective is a describing word. So if we look at the sentence, the sun is bright. Bright is describing the sun. But if we ask, how bright is the sun? Our adverb there is extremely. Again, here's your chance to pause the video and have a go at your own example. What other adverbs could you use to describe how bright the sun is? The next part is adverbs can give us more information about other adverbs. For example, the dog sat quietly. We can use the word very to tell us how quietly he was sitting. And lastly, adverbs can modify whole clauses. So if we had the sentence, the school was closed, and added, unfortunately, the school was closed, it tells us a little bit more about the school being closed. What other adverbs could you use to modify the clause, the school was closed? So we've looked at adverbs. Now we're going to move on to adverbial phrases. So a phrase is more than one word. Where an adverb is generally just one word, adverbial phrases, more than one word. We can also use phrases rather than single adverbs to modify clauses. These are called adverbial phrases. Adverbial phrases do not usually contain a verb. And here we have some examples. We had a simple sentence, Zoe rode her bike, and the ones in red are our adverbial phrases. It tells us how she rode her bike or where she rode her bike. So we've got she rode her bike with excitement, Zoe rode her bike down the road, Zoe rode her bike like an expert. Can you make your own adverbial phrase to modify this clause? And we have an example there. You can pause the video again. Tom ate his lunch. Tell me how he ate his lunch, or when he ate his lunch. All right, so we've mentioned adverbs, adverbial phrases. Now we have fronted adverbials. It's a complicated name for something that is actually quite simple. Sometimes an adverb or adverbial phrase can come before the verb instead of after. So it's literally fronted. It's coming before the verb or in the front. For example, we had Zoe rode her bike like an expert. We can change that to like an expert, comma, Zoe rode her bike. It still has the same meaning, except now the adverbial is in the front of the sentence, and the comma always comes after the fronted adverbial. Okay, quick recap on adverbials now. We're going to have a look at the different types of adverbials. This is important to note down because your activity, once we're done with the slides, is to remember and write down the different types of adverbials. So they answer one of four questions. These are the main four. When, so that's an adverbial of time. Where, an adverbial of place. How, an adverbial of manner. And then how often, which is an adverbial of frequency. Adverbials of time answer the question when. So when did something take place? And you could use ones like suddenly, all of a sudden, on Tuesday, last week, at 9 p.m, this time, as soon as we walked away, until the sun goes down. And these can be used as an adverbial phrase, so towards the end of a sentence, or you can use them as a fronted adverbial, which means they will be in the front of the sentence. And really important, remember, a comma comes after them if they are in the front. Then we have adverbial of place. This tells us where something has happened. In the distance, over there, under the hill, in the bins, on the roof, where they last saw us, and around town, by the bird bath. Adverbials of manner. So this is how something is being done or how it happened. Annoyingly, aggressively, simply, without care, with a pencil, in a very rude manner, completely, as though his life depended on it, with much consideration. And remember, with all of these, they can be used either as an adverb, an adverbial phrase, or fronted adverbial when it moves to the front of the sentence. And the last one is an adverbial of frequency, which tell us how often something is happening. Once, twice, every Monday, often, always, all the time, rarely, immediately, occasionally, frequently. There we go. So we've discussed the different types of adverbials, how they can be used in a sentence to modify the verbs within the sentence. And let's quickly recap. So the different ways that they can be used is words as in adverbs like suddenly, phrases or adverbial phrases like all of a sudden, as well as an adverbial clause as I looked up. Okay, so well done everyone. I hope you've taken down some notes, and you can go back to your PowerPoint slide now and complete the challenge. Once you've done the challenge, there is a link to another video on the YouTube channel for you to have a go completing the quiz. Bye!